Okay. Well, I was going to go out for a cup of coffee in just a bit, but I thought I'd do this, talk a little bit because now occasionally I will listen to Christo Ivalis. I can't remember how to spell the last name, but I believe it starts with an A and an I. Now, Christo is a PhD in political history, I believe, and but anyway, he does have a YouTube channel, and he's been up and running for a while, and he has a nice audience size. He's out of Canada, and he always provides updates with regards to what's going on with Trump, and gives his analysis. And that's great, and everything is good. It is a little casual, which is okay. I mean, everybody has their own style, and this is not a criticism in a way whatsoever. I don't feel I need to criticize anybody in that respect. But mm, they're describing the MAGA as stupid and cultish is a very consistent argument that a person hears from the left. And honestly, it's lazy intellectually. David Packman, I think, is another one that does it. And there are plenty. I don't keep track, and I listen to them every now and then as much as I can listen to because a lot of it is very repetitive. These are things that I've already heard, things that I already know. So I don't really get a lot out of the, their interpretations of what's going on. They're good enough, but I do think that they're incomplete and that the perspective is not broad enough because they haven't covered enough academic fields. So they may specialize in economics or politics or political economics, but honestly, when it comes to the human condition, there are so many other things that we need to consider and look at. These questions cannot be answered only in a political framework. And if they are answered in a political, they're only applicable in a political framework. So they're not applicable in the rest of the real world. So, are MAGA stupid? Well, it depends on how stupid is defined. Now, I did create a sort of a post on Instagram that said that stupidity isn't a measure of what you don't know, but stupidity is a measure of how much you want to ignore, how much you refuse to learn. If you refuse to learn, that is stupid in my book. If you close your mind, that is stupid in my book. So, can a person say that a MAGA is stupid in that respect with a closed mind? That has absolutely no question about it. So, from that perspective, I wouldn't have a doubt. But from a sort of a social, functional way, in other words, can a person live their daily life, make money and pay their bills and, take care of their shit? The answer would be yes. Most of them, if not, most of them can do that. So, in that light, they are not stupid. So, what we're saying is that they're stupid politically, but they're not stupid as people that know how to survive. Um, so the thing to so there are most people do not have a lot of studies or and really a good fundamental understanding of fields such as cultural anthropology and social psychology and childhood psychology and educational psychology, learning psychology, experimental psychology. Most people do not have a fundamental base to comprehend or to look at things in that particular light. However, it is incredibly important to look at our life in that light. It is tantamount. Tantamount. I heard that song or that word in a song title one time by a band called the Yachts. There was a flurry of bands coming out in the late 70s that had names with the Shoes, the Yachts, the Shirts, the Romantics, the Inmates. I mean, all these bands and a lot of new wave punk weird combinations before they actually solidified. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Tantamount was the word that I said. So if they are functional, then are they stupid? If they can pay their bills, are they stupid? When you look at them in the face, do you think it's fair for you to say to them, you are a stupid person? Depends. As long as they understand where it's coming from. If you say you're ideologically stupid or you're spiritually stupid, see, I think Webster Barnaby is spiritually stupid. I think he's spiritually lazy as well. But so MAGA is a real threat because, as we know, at this time, Donald Trump is the front runner for a nomination. Think about what that means. This is not stupidity. This is an emotional tether to an ideal that Donald Trump represents. It doesn't matter if he's being, pummeled in the court of public opinion amongst anybody who is against him. It doesn't matter to the other side because in their eyes, their shared worldview, their shared perspective tells them that these are the enemies of the right-wing ideology and the ultra pro-USA ideological stance. And in that respect, they would be correct. We are their enemy. They are a very conservative group that wants to stop the clock. That's what they want to do. They want to stop the clock. They don't want things to change anymore. And that's a very sad condition for an organism or an animal or a human, considering that we know that change is inevitable. Right now, we are producing an unmanageable number of humans per minute. Per minute. I think it's 3 people per second. 3 people appear on this planet per second. Per second. Wow. It's only going to get weird. And to think that you can button down the hatch, I mean, you just can't. It's impossible. It can't be done. What is our solution? My solution, I have my personal solution. I've taken myself out of, the sort of not entirely, but I've kind of taken myself out of a great portion of what makes up the culture, or what was perceived as the culture of the United States. Now, I am not part of that right wing culture, but I was born in an area that definitely led to the development and growth of individuals that are part of that movement, including some of my family members, because I am from that particular area. I have cousins from the west side of New Jersey and the east side of Pennsylvania that are MAGA people. I have one cousin actually has a chihuahua and dressed up her little dog with a little Trump vest and a little top hat or some shit like that. And is really proud and taking pictures. And I don't give a shit about her. And I just told them all to go to fucking hell, because I don't have anything in common with them. And I don't care if they're my family. If I have nothing in common and there's no reward for me, as far as, in any type of pleasure, anything that makes me feel good to be around them, no, I don't need to be around them. And I think that for anybody that's watching this, that's something that you seriously need to consider. Why would we force ourselves to be in situations that are just situations where we're miserable? Like Christmas and Thanksgiving and 4th of July. Ignore all that shit. It is not my job to make anybody happy. It's my job to keep myself happy. And I consider it my job to help some people find their happiness. But I don't think it's my job to make people happy. That's your job. That is your job. Now, we can't let the outside forces control that. If we have control of our time, our body, our movement, our decisions, we try to be as independent as possible, then we have a chance of feeling better. That is it in a nutshell. We don't want to be controlled by things and ideas that are on the outside, like a God, a cross, a carrot, a dollar bill, a dick, a pussy, anything really. I mean, just think about it. What controls you? What makes you do the things that you do? And is it something that actually serves a purpose to help you grow? I wouldn't know, right? You're the only one that knows that. I know where I am. Am I completely happy? No, I'm not complete. I couldn't be completely happy. That's impossible. Do I have generally a good disposition? I think so. Sometimes I get pissed, but when I'm out and about, the face that I want to show is the nice face. It's the friendly face. It's the pleasant face. It's the face that really, really knows that it's important to be able to get along with other people. But if I see people that don't like to get along with other people, that's another story. That's sad. It really is sad when I hear friends of mine, people I know, or people I think would know better, when they say they hate people. Now, I can hate people that support a certain idea. And so if they support, then I want to understand that idea. And then, I can tell them I don't like them and I don't want to have anything to do with them because of who they are, what they represent. And I would have no problem saying that. If they take offense to it, well, that's a bridge I would have to cross at that point in time, right? Most of the times it's not even worth the fight. You just walk away. It's barely worth it if it is at all. You just walk away. You just try to make an impression. And that's pretty much it. So are MAGA stupid? Well, again, depends on how you define stupidity. And personally, from the ideological perspective, which is supposed to be fairly comprehensive. I mean, you listen to people like Ted Cruz and all the people, they think they know their shit. They think they got it under control. They think they can manage the situation to success. I say let them fucking try. I say move them all to fucking Texas. I think there's enough room over there. Let them take over Texas, and we'll let them protect the border over there, and then we'll, protect our border against them. I think Texas would be big enough. Maybe Texas and Alaska. Put them as bookends. But I don't like being in Florida right now at all because this is it's a Christo-fascist state. It's really not part of the union anymore. I mean, there's no democracy in Florida because democracy allows for full participation, and they're closing the fucking doors. They don't want they know what they want to do, and they have the power to basically get away with it at this point in time. Unless the fucking half the population gets up, which, if the Democratic leadership knew how to do it, then they would do it, but they don't. I get a little disappointed with some things. So whenever you hear somebody say MAGA are stupid, just kind of keep in mind what I said. How do we define it? At this point in time, if you look at the entire body that is willing to vote for Donald Trump, when it comes to the size of that body, you can't refer to it as a cult. It has to be referred to as a culture, simply because of the size. It's the definition. You can look it up and you will find that out to be true. But I think I've said enough for now. If you ever have a question, of course, a comment, go ahead and drop it. And if I can say something intelligent or appropriate or nice, I will. And I guess that's it. So just remember, the past is an illusion. The present is confusion, and the future is a decision.